Welcome to a Conversation with the Divorce Diva. Today we're going to talk about spousal support. You know, alimony. You need to know that the law is gender neutral on who pays spousal support. So whoever has more Mr. Green in their pocket than the other spouse is going to pay. Unless you both have about equal Mr. Green in your pockets, then you probably will not have to pay. So newsflash, if you're highly educated, making lots of money, or ambitious, do not marry the Motel 6 maid or the cabana boy at the beach club. Oh, unless of course he's a trust fund baby slumming for the summer. Why do people have to pay spousal support anyway? Because the law states that both parties to a marriage have the right to be maintained after the marriage ends in the same lifestyle enjoyed during the marriage. That's why I told you not to marry the Motel 6 maid or the cabana boy if you are making money. Because guess who's going to be paying spousal support? You, dummy! So here's how it works. First, there's temporary spousal support. That gets paid to your spouse after you separate and you're not going to be married anymore. This money is paid by you to the Motel 6 maid to keep her in the status quo of the marriage. So if you flew in your private jet to Paris for lunch every weekend, you're going to be paying a lot of support to keep your spouse at that level. However, if a big night out for you and your spouse was Mickey D's, then you won't pay so much. A computer program called the Master is used by the courts and attorneys to determine how much you have to pay. See, I'll show you a copy of the Master printout. So into the computer goes your income and the Motel maid 6's income. And out comes a number. Bingo, the spousal support that you smart pants is going to have to pay until you get to a point in your case where permanent spousal support is ordered. And now a word from our sponsor, Spouse Finders. Are you feeling disappointed that you've never gone through the divorce process? Are all your friends talking about how great it was to get divorced and you're feeling left out of the conversations? Well, now you can be included. Spouse Finders will give you a 100% money-back guarantee that they will find you a spouse that you will want to divorce within 1 year. They have hundreds of shitty spouses for you to choose from, all waiting to get married. So contact them today at spousefinders.com. And back to the Divorce Diva. Support. This is the support you could pay for life if you don't listen to me. Whether you pay for life or just a few years or months depends on how long you were married. This is very important, so sit up straight and listen good. If you are married for less than 10 years, you have what's called a short-term marriage, and the law expects your spouse to become self-sufficient within 1/2 of the time you were married. See, I'm going to show you the family law code section that says this. So if you were married for 6 years, you would be paying support for 3 years. If you'd listened to me and not married the Motel 6 maid, but instead married a doctor or lawyer, then you would not even be paying spousal support at all. Also, if you're in a short-term marriage, the court can shut the door after you paid for half the time you were married to stop your spouse from getting more spousal support. But if you stay married for more than 10 years, you are really in deep doo-doo because you might have to pay spousal support for the rest of your life. You are in what's called a long-term marriage. Remember the code section I showed you? Well, that reasonable period of time does not apply to a long-term marriage. So guess what, Bunky? You're going to pay. So listen to the Divorce Diva. If things are not going well with your marriage, and the clock is ticking, and it's getting closer and closer to 10 years, get the flock out. Leave. File for divorce. If that lazy ass on the couch has not gotten a job, a degree, or profession, and your marriage marches down the hill to 10 years, get out. Because guess what? They will never make anything of themselves. Do yourself a favor and get out when you only have to pay for 1/2 of the length of the marriage, not when you have to pay forever. One last thing about spousal support. It's discretionary with the court. What does that mean? It means the court decides how much support your spouse should get. The court applies whatever factors are applicable out of a list of 13. Here they are. So if you find yourself in court fighting not to pay spousal support, don't blame me, because I told you to get out, and you didn't listen. Well, time to go. Ciao from the Divorce Diva.